Conspiracy against Jesus. Jesus had now finished all he wanted to say, and he told his disciples, "It will be Passover, as you know, in 2 days' time, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people assembled in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and made plans to arrest Jesus by some trick and have him put to death. They said, however, it must not be during the festivities. There must be no disturbance among the people. Then one of the 12, the man called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and the officers of the guard to discuss a scheme for handing Jesus over to them. They were delighted and agreed to give him money. And he said to them, "What are you prepared to give me if I hand him over to you?" They paid him 30 pieces of silver. He accepted, and from that moment he looked for an opportunity to betray him to them without people knowing. Passover preparations. It was before the festival of the Passover, and Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to pass from this world to the Father. He had always loved those who were his in the world, but now he showed how perfect his love was. And the disciples came to him to say, "Where do you want us to go and make the preparations for you to eat the Passover?" So he sent 2 of his disciples, Peter and John, saying to them, "Go into the city, and as you enter you will meet a man carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house he enters, and tell the owner of the house, 'The master says, my time is near. It is at your house that I am keeping Passover with my disciples.' He will show you a large upper room, furnished with couches, all prepared. Make the preparations there." The disciples set out and went to the city, and found everything as he had told them. They did what Jesus told them, and prepared the Passover. The foot washing. When evening came, he arrived with the 12. A dispute arose between them about which should be reckoned the greatest. But he said to them, "Among pagans it is the kings who lord it over them, and those who have authority over them are given the title benefactor. This must not happen to you. No, the greatest among you must behave as if he were the youngest, the leader as if he were the one who serves. For who is the greater, the one at the table or the one who serves? The one at the table, surely. Yet here I am among you as one who serves." They were at supper, and the devil had already put into the mind of Judas Iscariot, son of Simon, to betray him. Jesus knew that the Father had put everything into his hands, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. And he got up from the table, removed his outer garment, and, taking a towel, wrapped it round his waist. He then poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and wipe them with the towel he was wearing. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "At the moment you do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." "Never," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "If I do not wash you, you can have nothing in common with me." Then, Lord," said Simon Peter, "not only my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus said, No one who has taken a bath needs washing. He is clean all over. You too are clean, though not all of you are." He knew who was going to betray him. That was why he said, "Though not all of you are." A new commandment. So, when he had washed their feet and put on his clothes again, he went back to the table. "Do you understand," he said, "what I have done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and rightly, so I am. If I then, the Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you should wash each other's feet. I have given you an example, so that you may copy what I have done to you. I tell you most solemnly, no servant is greater than the man who has sent him. Now that you know this, happiness will be yours if you behave accordingly. My little children, I shall not be with you much longer. You will look for me, and, as I told the Jews where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment. Love one another just as I have loved you. You must also love one another. By this love you have for one another, everyone will know that you are my disciples." Peter's denial foretold. Simon Peter said, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus replied, "Where I am going, you cannot follow me now. You will follow me later." Peter said to him, "Why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you." "Lay down your life for me," answered Jesus. "I tell you most solemnly, before the cock crows, you will have disowned me 3 times. Simon, Simon, Satan, you must know, has got his wish to sift you all like wheat, but I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail, and once you have recovered, you in your turn must strengthen your brothers. You will all lose faith, for the scripture says, I shall strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. Peter said, "Even if all lose faith, I will not." And Jesus said to him, "I tell you solemnly this day, this very night, before the cock crows twice, you will have disowned me 3 times." But he repeated still more earnestly, "If I have to die with you, I will never disown you." And they all said the same. Thanks be to God. Stay safe.